Alrighty.
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Let me just.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I know it's a little bit earlier in some places than others. We're so excited you're all joining us. There's a little bit of echo. Let me just see. I'm gonna have everyone on mute just because we have so many people on. We're already almost double where we were at last week with this. So let me just make sure. Thanks, Cassie. We're pretty excited about it.
Oh, what up, Mike? I see you.
Awesome. We have some of our gyms in here. Nikki, Mary, hello. Amanda.
Oh, Jess.
I'm so excited.
Welcome, everybody. I see Peak, but I can't see who from Peak. Is it Kyle? Is it Alicia?
Alicia.
Hey, Leash.
I see the Coles. Hi, Coles.
Hey, Katie. We have Colorado in here. Oh, are the Coles Jess and Chris? Or yes. Oh, Angelica, sorry. Sarah, I see that you're on, but I can't see you. Okay. So we have 40 people in here. There will be several more, but everyone's just going to be muted as they come in. I do think majority of you would be familiar with how Zoom works, but in case you are not, right now you have the ability to have your microphone and your video on. We are doing yoga. Majority, everyone left it on their video last week, but you do not have to if you're uncomfortable with that. Like, that's totally fine if you want to shut your video off. We will keep everyone on mute the whole time until the end. We're gonna have a couple times for shout outs and stuff because we want you to see like who's here. It's pretty exciting. This is international. So last week it was just the States, but now we have some Canadians on the call. So it's pretty exciting for us. So if you find yourself unmuted, just know that there is a microphone at the bottom of your screen or at the bottom of your phone screen, and you can just toggle that on and off. Same thing with your video. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get us started. I have a little inspirational piece that actually came through my email this morning that I wanted to share with you because it hit perfectly for me, and I discussed it with Tina, and it just seems like the right thing to share. So let me just pop over here on my other screen. So I think what we're all kind of searching for in this chaos is a little bit of calm, some peace that we can hang on to, and some hope. So this will help us with that. It's a daily routine for peace. So we're going to start today with it, and then also you can take it with you, you know, Monday, Tuesday, and so forth. So every letter in the word peace stands for something. P is for positivity. E is for exercise. A is for achieve. C is for connection, and E is for empathy. And then I'm going to describe a little for each one. So P is for positivity. One of our greatest human freedoms is our ability to choose our own thoughts. Choose positive thoughts. Focusing on gratitude is a wonderful way to generate positive thoughts. Every morning, think of 2 things you are grateful for. Exercise. Move your body every day. Exercise is associated with reducing anxiety and improving mood. You can maximize the benefits of exercise by being outside in nature or being on Zoom with us, because this is awesome too. Achieve. Focus on one thing that you can achieve every day. It can be little, it can be large, just one thing. Connection. As human beings, we are hardwired to be social. We need human connection now more than ever. Reach out to at least 2 people every day. Reach out to one person who supports you, and reach out to one person who could use your support. Whenever possible, use technology that can provide video contact such as FaceTime and Zoom, because it really does help us feel connected. And then lastly, let's see, sorry. E is for empathy. Empathy. Have empathy for others. Have empathy for yourself. Remember that people are doing the very best that they can right now, and we need to have compassion for ourselves too when we're feeling stressed and tired. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then now to get to the goodie of this. Oh, I'm glad you guys like that. So Tina is our yoga instructor today and all of these Sundays. Tina is one of my very best friends. She also lives in Jersey, and I've had the pleasure of going to her classes time and time again. Hot yoga is my favorite, but she just has an awesome vibe. It's very calm, but also upbeat, which is like exactly what we need. So I had this crazy idea to do this last week, and she just jumped right on board, didn't even ask any questions. And I think like that's pretty amazing. So Tina, I just wanted to thank you. And then if you want to take it from here.
Sure. Awesome. Well, of course, you're very welcome. And if anything, I'm just super excited to be able to offer this to everybody, especially right now. So hello, everybody. Welcome. If you're back from last week, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. And thank you for letting me guide you through your first practice. This is about a 45-minute yoga sequence. So shout out to my 75 hard peeps. You will get your indoor workout done. But because it's so short, I'm not necessarily going to cue you down to grab water or come to a child's pose. So if you feel like you need any of those at any time, please feel free to just come down, take a seat, grab some water, do whatever you have to do. This is a pretty basic yoga sequence. However, I will always invite my advanced yogis to kind of take it to the next step if you want, or if you need any type of modification, just listen to your body. This is totally meant for you and what you need it to do. I also invite our four-legged friends here. So don't worry if your pets want to join. Okay, so before we get started, I did share out a link to the playlist. So if you want to listen along on your own devices, you certainly can. Otherwise, no worries, but it is there. And you might want to have like a water or a towel nearby. And if that's it, I think we're all set. We're going to get started on our backs today. So when you're ready, you can slowly make your way down to your mat and find a nice comfortable seat. Yes, please. All right. We are also going to get our music set up. Good. So as you get nice and comfortable, I want you to go ahead and close the eyes. You can either have your knees bent, you can have them completely straight on the mat. It's completely up to you and whatever is most comfortable for you. And then I want you to just go ahead and take a nice deep inhale and then let it out. Taking a moment here to just realize the breath. Take a notice of where that breath is going. How does it make you feel? Is your breath kind of short, or can you go ahead and take a nice long breath? And as you get comfortable in this position, I want you to take a moment and do a body scan. Maybe check in with the head and start to clear the space, clear the mind. Put all your other thoughts on pause and just allow you to be in this moment right here and right now. And as you scan down the body, maybe check the shoulders. Are you keeping them up by the ears, or can you relax them and allow them to fall onto the earth? Continuing down, maybe the arms get heavy, the legs get heavy. And you just find that you're sinking deeper and deeper into your mat. Now we're going to start to lengthen the breath. So take a nice inhale, and the easiest way to do this is just to count to 4. So as you breathe in, you begin to count 4, 3, 2, 1, and then as you breathe out, you begin to count for 4, 3, 2, 1. And you imagine that as you're breathing, that breath is coming from the tippy toes. You're taking a deep inhale, it's filling up the belly, it's puffing out the chest. And as it reaches the tippy top of your head, maybe you hold it there for a second. And then just like a wave, as you exhale, that breath falls all the way back down to those tippy toes. Taking another moment here to maybe come to those 2 points that you're grateful for today. It could be something as simple as just giving yourself these 45 minutes of no distractions, no phones, no technologies, and just hanging out. It could be something big or small. Take another deep, long inhale here. And exhale. Good, now keeping the eyes closed, all we're gonna do here is I want you to take your left ankle and cross it over the right. We're gonna bring our arms overhead and see if you can go ahead and grab onto that left wrist. Now with your next inhale, think about getting a nice full body stretch here. And as you exhale, we're bringing that right ankle over to the, left ankle over to the right side of your mat. So you're starting to create a little curve in the body. Maybe you can also bring that left wrist over as well to the right. So now you're creating like a banana shape. So finding some length in the left side of your body. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, release. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Next inhale, let's make our way back to the center. We're going to reverse the lap. So bringing our right ankle over left and then grabbing onto that right wrist. First inhale, I want you to super stretch straight. And then from here, we're going to take that right ankle over to the left side of our mat. Take our right wrist over to the left side of the mat as well. And now finding a nice long stretch there in the right side of the body. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. With every inhale, maybe finding some space to stretch a little bit deeper as you exhale. 1 more breath. Good, let's go ahead and return back to center. From here, I want you to bring your knees into the chest. Give yourself a great big hug. If it's easier, maybe you grab onto the thighs, maybe you grab onto the tops of the shins. You're just focusing here, maybe rock from left to right. Wiggle out those hips. Take 1 more inhale. I'm gonna start nice and slow this morning. Coming back to center, I want you to take your hands just like you would as a cactus. So thinking like a touchdown post, or if you're about to be like touchdown, yeah, that's the shape we want. So keeping flat on the mat, our legs are at 90 degrees. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, then these are gonna fall over to the left. Our gaze is gonna go over to the right. So finding a bit of a twist in the spine. Same kind of thing here. We're inhaling to find space and then exhaling to stretch a little bit deeper. And breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Gaze is going to come back to center. We're going to slowly bring our knees to center as well. Oh my God. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, knees fall over to the right, knees over to the left. With the twist, take a nice deep inhale for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead, inhale, come back to center. Good, from here we're gonna straighten out those legs, super flex those toes. Our hands can come down to our sides. And before we get started, I want you to activate the legs. So we're engaging our quads, we're pushing our energy through our heels. And before we get started, maybe just roll out that right ankle. My cat is going nuts. Roll out that left ankle. Maybe roll out both ankles. And then we're gonna return to that super flex. Inhale, arms are gonna come overhead, super stretch out. And then as you exhale, we're bringing fingertips to toes for a crunch for 1. Lower down. Crunch up for 2. Lower down. 3. Good. Keep focusing on that breath as you crunch for 4. 5. 6. Almost there, I promise. Navel to spine. 7. 8. 9. Last 1. Crunch. Good. Let's go ahead and bend those knees. Give yourself a great big hug. Thank yourself for doing that. And then from here, we're making our way to a tabletop position. So if you like to start rock and rolling forward and back, otherwise we're gonna make our way to a seat and then roll over the ankles and come onto all 4s. So from here, you want your knees under the hips. Wrists are under the shoulders. Our back is nice and straight. And we're keeping everything active here. So we're still pushing through those palms. We don't want to just kind of sink into the shoulders. We want to stay nice and lifted. Maybe wiggle out those hips from left to right. Good. And then from here, what we're going to do is 3 rounds of cat and cow. Now, the first one we're going to do together. And then the second 2 you're going to do on your own breath. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift the head and hips nice and tall. So think like a cow, getting a little bit of an arch in the spine. As you exhale, we're going to tuck the hips, tuck the head. Think like a Halloween cat. You're sending the center of your back towards the ceiling. Good. So next 2 can kind of happen with your own breath. Allowing the breath to guide you as you inhale, as you exhale. One more time. Good. Finding that scaredy cat deep breath. And then we'll meet back in center when you're finished. Okay, good. Watch out, Evie. On your next inhale, we're going to send that right leg out. So we're straightening out the right leg. The left knee is still on the ground. Our right toes are super flexed. We're just going to hold it here first for 3, for 2. Good, now listen carefully. From here, what I want you to do is take that right leg and send it out to the right side. So now we're engaging that outer hip for 3, 2. Good, keeping the leg where it's at, we're just going to lower those right toes onto the mat. So if you're familiar with a warrior 2 feet, that's kind of what we got going on here, but it's super flat. On your next inhale, I want you to walk the top body up, coming to a stand, and then we're gonna inhale, arms to frame out the head. Good, what is up? Yeah, there it is, deep breath, inhale. As you exhale, that right hand is gonna come down to that right thigh. Left hand's gonna come up and over. And I want you to try and send the center of your chest towards the ceiling. So gaze is lifted. Hanging out here for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, this time we're gonna take that left hand and reach all the way down to the ground or a block. Right hand's gonna come up and over, and we're gonna send that right shoulder to the back. So our chest, again, is facing the ceiling. Deep breath here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly engage those abs. Lift back up. Deep inhale. As you exhale, return back to that tabletop with the palms. We're going to lift that right leg. Send it back behind you. So I'm going to kind of move so you can see. So leg is super straight behind us. Hold it here. From here, we're going to lower those right toes down. Wiggle out that left hand to the top of our mat. So this is what we call our Spider-Man pose. And I want you to just start to feel that energy move from the left fingertips to the right heel. So we're kind of pushing out that right heel. So you might get a calf stretch here. Relax the head. Hang out for 3. On our next inhale, we're gonna walk that left hand back in underneath that left shoulder. We're gonna inhale the right toes back up. And then what I'd like us to do from here is bend that right knee. Take the right knee out to the right side, just like we did earlier, but this time the knee is bent. And we're gonna go for 6 hip circles. 3 forward, and then 3 backward. You kind of go at your own speed, but keep pushing through your palms so you don't sink those shoulders. Reversing the twist for 2. And 1, good. Building up some heat there. We're gonna return to that tabletop position. Rock our hips out from side to side. Maybe do 1 little cat-cow, whatever feels good to you right now. Exhale. We'll come back to center and hit the other side. So from here, we're gonna inhale, left leg straight. Super flex those toes, hold it here, engage the core. 3, 2. I'm gonna move so you guys can see better. From here, we're gonna send that left leg out to the side, left side. 3, 2. Keeping the leg where it is, we're going to lower the toes down to the mat. And slowly inhale the top body up. Arms to frame out the head. Take a deep inhale, super stretch. Exhale, left palm to left thigh. Deep breath here. You might notice that one side's a little bit tighter than the other, and that's okay. 3, 2. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right palm's gonna reach to the ground. Left fingertips up and over. Breathe for 3. Looking good, guys. 2 and 1. Inhale, come back to center. We're gonna super stretch up first, and then as you exhale, lower those palms. Lift the left toes off the mat. Send that left foot behind you so it's super, super straight. Evie, that's not a good spot for you to sit in. And then from here, we're gonna lower the left toes down to the mat. We're gonna wiggle out the right fingertips to the top of your mat. And same thing, Spider-Man on the other side. I just want you to focus on sending the energy from your fingertips to your tippy toes, heads relaxed. Maybe you play around with sending the weight forward and back. Keeping the core engaged for 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead, walk that right palm underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, lift the left toes. Bend that left knee, squeeze that glute, good. Then take that left knee over to the left side. So if you imagine like a dog going to the bathroom, and then 6 circles, 3 moving forward, 2, and 1, and then 3 going back. 3, beep, beep, 2, and 1. When you're ready, you can extend that left leg super straight, take an inhale, and then lower it back down, coming to that tabletop position. Oh my gosh, my cat wants to teach yoga instead. Beep, beep. On our next inhale, all we're gonna do here is come to a puppy pose. So think child's pose, but keeping the glutes high. So I want you to start to walk the fingertips to the top of your mat. We're going to lower the third eye or your forehead down to the ground. And your seat is gonna sit nice and tall. I just want you to take a moment here to collect the breath. You kind of built up some heat with that last sequence, so slow it down. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more inhale. Good. On our next exhale, we're gonna look forward. We're slowly gonna roll out to a high plank, so top of a push-up. So you're gonna come through tabletop, tuck those toes, and then inhale, lift the knees. So we have 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Feeling that energy, take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, hips are coming up and back, downward facing dog. Good, guys, awesome. So just taking a moment here, maybe paddling out those feet, pushing through all 10 fingers. You wanna try and keep the shoulders away from the ears. Chest is forward, we're hanging out for 3, 2. On our next inhale, we're going to lift that right leg nice and tall. Good. As you exhale, knees coming to nose, we're planting that foot in between the palms at the top of our mat. So we're coming into like a runner's lunge. From here, we're going to lower that back knee down and untuck the toes. So we're still in a nice lunge, leaning forward, but our back knee is down. Couple options from here. Option 1 is you can keep your arms planted on either blocks or on the ground, but try and keep your chest lifted. Option 2, you can bring your palms to that thigh. So we're still kind of leaning forward off that back knee, but our hands are rested. Or option 3, we can inhale, lift the top body, arms lift as well. So take it wherever your body wants to go. If you're super tight like I am in the hips, you might want to keep the hands planted on the thigh or even down on the mat. So we're deep breaths here for 4. Exhale. Squeeze those glutes. That's going to help keep you nice and strong for 3, 2. Good. Let's all bring our gaze down to the mat and reframe out that right foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee so we're back in that runner's lunge. And then we're going to send that right foot back high into the sky, downward facing dog. and lower the toes down onto the mat. Good, so we're in our down dog. We're paddling at our feet, feeling super strong. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale, left toes lift nice and high. Exhale, knee to nose. Same thing, planting that foot in between our palms. Sometimes you have to wiggle those toes up there. Find that low lunge first. And then when you're ready, you can drop that back knee, untuck the right toes. And same thing, hands can either stay on the mat with the chest lifted, they can come to the side for support, or you can go ahead and lift them and frame out the head. If you bring your arms up, I want you to bring your shoulder blades down so the shoulders are away from the ears. Hang out here for 3. Ooh, exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale. I wish I had all the energy my cat has right now. One more inhale through the nose. And exhale, bring your gaze down. Let's reframe out that left leg. Tuck those right toes, lift that right knee. Yep, and you know it, send that left foot back, 3-legged dog. Lower the left toes down, paddle out those feet. We're only here for 1 breath. On our next inhale, we're slowly gonna come high into our tippy toes, roll out to that high plank, so top of a push-up. And then options here for my advanced yogis to take your regular flow. Otherwise, if you're modified, you're gonna follow me, and we're gonna lower down to knees, chest, and chin. So our knees drop, our chest drops, and then our chin drops. So it's almost like a little inchworm. From here, we're going to inhale and straighten out the body. So legs are straight. We're gonna inhale, lift the chest to a baby cobra. So a little bend in the back. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck those toes, push up through the palms. Inhale, high plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Woohoo, paddle it out. Take a little smile. Hang out here for 3, 2. Next inhale, we're gonna lift that right leg tall one more time. Exhale, knee to nose, plant the foot in between the palms, coming back to that runner's lunge. Good, so a couple options here. If you need to, you can drop that back knee down for this entire sequence. Otherwise, I'm gonna encourage you guys to try and go for the high lunge. So from here, I want you to get a nice strong base first. When you're comfortable, we're going to inhale, rise up and lift the top body. So again, this can happen with the back knee down, and you can stay right here. Good, or we're gonna lift up. Deep breath here for 3. Now I'm gonna go in between this and the modification, so just follow along for 2. 1, now option is stay here, or we're all gonna take our fingertips and tap them underneath our thigh. So this is a lot of ab control. If you're down on your knee, same thing. Tapping the fingertips, lifting them back up. 1 more. Good, let's all have our hands up, framing our ears. From here, I want you to all take your forearms so they're in front of the face. Elbows are in line with the shoulders, palms away from the face. My advanced yogis, we're gonna go into a warrior 1 foot. So our left heel is gonna come to a 45-degree angle. If you're down on your mat, listen carefully. We're gonna inhale. As you exhale, come into a humble warrior. We're coming to the inside of that right knee. So if your left knee is down, you're still doing the same thing. You're coming to the inside of that right knee. If you're high up, same thing. Coming to the inside of that right knee. From here, if you want to drop the palms down onto the mat, feel free to do so. But I want us all to just take a quick check. Sometimes when we come down to this pose, our right hip kind of kicks out. So what I want you to do is push that hip back in, sending it to the back of the mat. Hang out here for 3, 2. Good. Now, if you're in that warrior 1 stance, I want you to inhale, lift the top body. If your knee is down, I want you to start to bring your gaze center. We're all gonna frame out that right leg. If you're on warrior 1 feet, you're gonna inhale, come onto those left toes. If your knee is down onto the mat, you're gonna inhale, lift that knee. And then so we're all back in that runner's lunge. Together, we're gonna inhale, straighten out that right leg. So now we have 2 straight legs. This stance might feel super, super wide. So what I want you to do is take that back foot and bring it in about halfway. That's gonna feel a little bit more comfortable for you guys. So inhale, a little lift in the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Breathing here, you might feel a lot of tension there in the hamstring. So just move the feet closer together, maybe soften the knee if needed. And hang out for 3, 2. You take a look down at your feet. They should be almost like they're on train tracks, so parallel from each other. Sending your breath to that right hamstring. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. All together, let's take a little lift in the chest. We're gonna re-soften that right knee. Plant those palms. Send the right foot back to the mat, followed by the left, finding a high plank. From here, we're gonna take our flow. So take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, knees, chest, and chin, or flow of your option. Inhale, straighten out that body, lift the chest. Exhale, lower it back down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift up, high plank. Woo, and exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Great job, guys. So now that you kind of know what's coming up, you know if you need to take a modification or if you could go for the whole thing, options are yours. We're gonna go ahead and inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant the foot in between the palms. Finding that running lunge first. So it's really important that you're super strong at this level before moving forward. Engage the core, engage the glutes, and then inhale, lift the top body. Good, hang out here for 3, 2. From here, we're gonna send our fingertips, tap them underneath the thigh for 1. Back up. Underneath the thigh for 2. Back up. Underneath the thigh for 3. Back up, hold it here. Bring those forearms together. Elbows are in line with shoulders, palms away from the face. If you're high up, we're gonna lower that right heel to about a 45-degree angle. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower the top body to the inside of the left knee. So we're kind of kicking the left knee out of the way a little bit here. Our feet are super strong. Maybe we hang out right here. Maybe we lower the palms. Maybe we're hanging out with our back knee down on the mat. And breathe. For 3, 2. Good, we're gonna start to lift the top body halfway. Bring it back to center. We're gonna frame out the left foot. Coming onto those right toes. So whether your knee has to lift off the mat or you just have to pivot that ankle. Inhale, straighten out the left leg. And then as you exhale, see if you can lower down, maybe touch the third eye to the shin. So again, if the stance is way too wide for you, we're going to walk that back foot in about halfway. And then just kind of readjust. Excuse me. So you want to send that left hip back, right hip forward. That's going to keep your hips super, super squared. You might feel a little bit more in that left hamstring. And breathe for 5, 4, 3. Slow it down for 2. And 1. Let's all inhale, lift the top body. Re-soften up that left knee. Plant the palms. Same thing, finding that high plank. Left foot goes to the back of the mat, followed by the right. Engage that core. Woo! Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, straighten out, find that baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, tuck the toes, push through the palms, lift up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Paddle out those feet, relax the head. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good job, guys, you're killing it. Last time, we're gonna inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, knee to nose, plant the foot in between the palms. So we're coming to a warrior two, but just for a transition. So what I'd like you to do is send that left heel down to the mat so it's parallel. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the top body, have super, super straight arms. Now I'm gonna change my direction so you guys can see. Knees bent nice and soft. And then we're just gonna inhale, straighten out that front leg. Bring those right toes to face the same direction you are. So we're almost like a 5-point star. Yeah, this might feel really good after all those lunges. From here, it's gonna inhale, hinge to the left, lower the left palm down onto the thigh, right fingertips are gonna come up over the ear. So returning back to those side stretches, feeling it all the way in the right side. Inhale, exhale. Good job. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Next inhale, we're gonna return back to center. Hinge to the right, lower the right palm onto that right thigh, left fingertips up and over. So we're still pushing energy into this left toe here, but our left fingertips are gonna try and reach the opposite wall. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for 2. You need to stretch a little bit further for 3. Good, let's slowly make our way back to center. So from here, we're gonna just pivot those heels in. Our arms are gonna come back to those touchdown posts, cactus arms. And when you do this, I want you to imagine that you're trying to send the shoulder blades to kiss. So by opening up the shoulders, you're gonna open up the chest. From here, we're going to bend those knees, finding our goddess pose. Now, if your hips are super tight, what I'd like you to do is take your palms, bring them to the inside of the thigh, and just kind of assist on getting this a little bit lower. Brandon is like, yup, that's where I'll be. If you're more advanced yogi and you want to play around with this pose, maybe coming onto the toes or bouncing, you know, have fun with it, see where you want to go, but we're only hanging out here for 5, 4, 3. Keep the seat nice and low, chest is lifted. Good. Let's all return back to those cactus arms. We're going to start to hinge at the hips, lowering our top body down and then planting the palms onto the mat. Inhale, straighten those legs. And then from here, we're gonna bring the toes in and heels out. And then as you exhale, maybe take this forward fold. So we have 2 straight legs. Our head is hanging heavy. If you need to come to blocks or some type of support, you can also do that. My advanced yogis, if you want to go for some headstands, you're welcome to play around in this pose. Option to also stay here or take that right hand and bring it to that left ankle. Then maybe that left hand can come to the left hip, or you can send those fingertips up to the sky. For 3. Try and keep your weight in the balls of the feet for 2. Good. And 1, slowly returning back to center. You're just gonna walk your hands all the way over to the other side. So left hand, gonna grab onto that right ankle, right hand maybe to the hip, or just send those fingertips up to the sky. And a sunflower. Deep breath here for 3. We're almost done. You guys are doing awesome. 2. And 1. Slowly return back to center. All together, we're gonna inhale, lift that top chest. And then from here, we're gonna just heel toe our feet into the center. Good. So option to maybe bring the 2 big toes to touch. Otherwise, sometimes it's more comfortable to keep a little space between the feet. But what I'd like us to do is exhale, bend those knees. Inhale, hands to prayer. And then slowly lift the top body like you're sitting in a chair. So you're keeping the knees nice and bent. I'll come over here so you can see. And then from here, we're tucking the hips in, tucking in that pelvis, and lifting the chest nice and tall. And breathe. Hang out here for 3, 2, Inhale, we're taking a nice twist over to the left. Option to stay right here. Option to touch that right elbow to the outside of that left leg. Hanging out here for 3. Doing good for 2. Inhale, if you took the elbow to the leg, we're gonna lift it back up. We're all gonna exhale to center. Keep those knees nice and soft. I know it's burning. Take it over to the right. Again, option to stay here. Option to hook the elbow to the thigh. Take a quick look down. Make sure your knees are in a nice straight line and breathe. For 3, I am dying. We got this. For 2. And 1, we're gonna inhale, come back to center. Exhale, big stretch up, arms overhead, maybe a slight back bend. Woo! Inhale, forward fold. Good job, guys. Let's find a little half lift. Lifting the chest, sending the hamstrings to the back. And then exhale, bend those knees. Grab opposite elbows, forward fold. So keep your knees nice and soft in this ragdoll here. Our weight is forward. You should feel a nice release in the lower back. Hang out here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good job. As you come back to center, I want you to look to the top of your mat, and we are just going to pivot our feet to face forward. Woohoo! Yeah, awesome. Inhale, 1 vertebrae at a time. We are going to lift up, coming to a nice standing pose. Good. We're going to roll those shoulders back, and I'm just going to fix this video a little bit so you can see better. Okay, should work. Good. I want you to stand super, super tall. Head is straight. Shoulders are back behind you. Chest is open. Maybe take a moment here. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. So our legs are still engaged here. What I'd like us to do next is lift our right toes. Flex or open up our right toes nice and wide. And then lower it back down on the mat. Inhale, lift the right heel. Lower that right heel down on the mat. And I'd want you to do is imagine that you're pushing through all 4 corners of your feet. So your right foot should feel super, super grounded into the earth. From here, we're going to shift our weight into that right leg. And then inhale, left knee slowly comes up to the chest. You can grab onto that left leg with your hands or a strap. And first, we're just going to hang out here. This might be as far as you go, and that is okay. Trick is to focus on something that's not moving. Feel that balance shift. Hang out and breathe. If you'd like to move forward, we're going to extend that left leg. We're going to take our 2 peace fingers, like what's up? Peace fingers are out. And then from here, we're going to swoop that left foot behind us, and our peace fingers are going to come and touch the top of our mat or a block. So we're coming to a warrior 3. Our left foot is super flexed. Breathe here for 3, 2. Option to stay here, or option then to maybe put your weight into those right fingertips. Left fingertips are going to come to the hip. Maybe you can start to stack the hips, stack the shoulders. We're only here for 3 breaths. Half moon for 1, for 2. Good job, guys. Let's all meet back in a forward fold. Return that left palm down. Return the left foot down. Wiggle out those hips. Woohoo! And then we're going to inhale, slowly start to rise up 1 vertebrae at a time. Roll those shoulders, maybe roll out the neck, wiggle out the hips, do a little dance move, whatever you got to do. We're going to set up on the other side. So 2 straight legs, standing nice and tall. We're going to lift up those left toes, spread them out nice and wide, and then lower the left toes back down. And then inhale, lift the left heel, lower the left heel down. So again, getting super grounded in that left foot. Send the weight into the left leg. When you're ready, inhale, right knee to chest. Grab onto that right knee and just hang out. This might be as far as you go. That is awesome. You are awesome. I can't talk. Inhale, straighten out that right leg if you're moving forward. 2 peace fingers, what's up? Go ahead, swoop that right leg behind you. Peace fingers come to the top of your mat or a block. Great job, guys, and breathe. You may notice that one side is a little bit easier, and that is okay. Same. From here, moving on, we're gonna take that right hand to that right hip. On those left fingertips, start to slowly stack the shoulders, stack the hips. My right foot is super, super flexed. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Returning back to that forward fold all together. Lower the palm down, lower the foot down, rock it out from side to side. Good, let's all inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step the right foot back, followed by the left. Option to go through your final flow. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the more advanced flow. Otherwise, you can still lower down to knees, chest, and chin. Together, we're gonna inhale, top of a push-up. Exhale, let your elbows hug the ribs as you lower down, keeping the chest lifted. Inhale, coming to that up dog, so lifting the chest super tall. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll all meet here, we're just here for 1 breath. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah. Inhale, let's all come high into those tippy toes. Exhale, roll out to that high plank. And then one more time, inhale. This time we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Try and use as much control as you can. Great job. Let's go ahead and bring that right cheek to the mat. Our arms are gonna, yeah, that's right, Brandon, we're too close. Our arms, we're gonna want to straighten out as straight as we can. So if you're laying down, your arms are going straight across the body, nice and straight. From here, what we're going to do is lift that, ooh, sorry, I'm just getting into position. Lift that left leg up, and then exhale, bring that left leg over to the right. So you want to have your right arm nice and straight, and you're gonna use your left fingertips to kind of roll you onto your right side. You should be feeling the stretch in that right shoulder. So if your arm is nice and straight, you're gonna feel a good stretch happening from the shoulder to the chest. Breathing here for 3, 2, good job, and 1. We're slowly going to return back to our bellies. We're gonna switch the cheeks, so left cheek coming down onto the mat this time. And then from here, we're gonna inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, send the right leg over to the left. Makes it a little difficult if things are in the way, but just knock them down, it's fine. You have somebody there with you, just make sure they're good friends. Deep breath here for 3, 2, and 1. Returning back to the belly. Good job. And then from here, we're just gonna bring our arms overhead. So now we're switching from Spider-Man to Superman, and we're gonna do this in steps. So our first step, we're just gonna lift the lower body. Our second step, we'll lift the top body. And then our third step, we'll lift it all together. So keeping the forehead flat on the mat, we're going to inhale, lift just the feet and legs off the ground. So there's a little curve here in the lower back. My legs are super engaged. Holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Wiggle out those hips. Come back to center. Take one more inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, we're just going to lift the arms and the chest off the mat. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Good. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, release. Again, wiggle out those hips. Getting yourself centered again. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, I want you to lift everything off the mat. Super flying mode. Legs are engaged, arms are engaged. Deep breaths here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. And then slowly making our way to a child's pose. So pushing the top body up and just sending the hips towards the heels. Our arms are super, super straight. Our forehead is reaching the mat. Just kind of stretching out the back after taking little back bends. Inhale here. Exhale. Great job, guys. So from here, we're just coming to a seated position. So if you want to just make your way through tabletop, maybe find your seat on your mat. You're about to get to my favorite part, Shavasana, but before we do that, let's get ourselves on the mat. So from here, we're going to move the flesh from our sit bones. I want you to inhale the arms up. As you exhale, using your core, we're just slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lowering down to the mat. So use this control, just lightly, if I can do it, bring you down to a laying down position. With the arms overhead, let's take one full body stretch here. Big inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Great job, everybody. On our next inhale, we're just going to bring our knees into the chest. Giving yourself one hug. Now option to bring those knees over to the armpits. Maybe you stay here. If you want to go for a hip opener stretch, you can take your hands and reach for those pinky toe sides of your feet. So my arm is crossing over my shin. And then I know this is funky, but it's cool. Our feet are going to reach towards the ceiling as our knees are kind of making their way into the armpits. So what is known as happy baby, we are going to hang out here and for 3. You're super open. You want to straighten out those legs for a deeper stretch. Go for it for 2. And wherever you are, you can slowly rebend the knees, bring those knees back into the chest, give yourself a great big hug, inhale. And then as you exhale, allow everything to just kind of fall onto the mat. Take up as much space as you would like. Good. Allow those legs to get heavy. Allow the arms to sink. Take notice of where the shoulders are. Can you relax them a little bit deeper, moving them away from the ears? And just let out a nice big exhale. That was so amazing. Taking up the final 2 minutes of class to just thank yourself so very much for the work that you put in. Applauding yourself for making it to your mat this morning. Allow the body to slow back down. You did it. I'm just going to breathe here, maybe returning back to that normal breath. 3. Take 2 more nice long inhales. And exhale. Good job. One more inhale. And slowly start to wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers, move those wrists and ankles. Keeping the eyes closed, we're going to bring the right knee into the chest, followed by the left. One final hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then slowly surrender over to the right. So we're just going to pause here just for a moment and come back to those 2 things that you said you were grateful for in the beginning of practice. And when you're ready, you can come back to a seated position. Maybe the eyes stay closed. Coming into the feet where whatever is comfortable. So if your knees are bent or if they're straight. So I just want to thank you guys so very much for joining me this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to offer this to you guys. So know that the light in me sees and honors that same divine light in each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Namaste. Woohoo!
Namaste.
You did it.
Thank you. That was
Thank
awesome.
you guys.
If you guys want to hang for a second, totally cool. If you can't and you got to run, I know a few friends had to go to virtual church. Feel free. But I did want to get a little feel for the room and who's in here. So if you want to drop what state you're from in the chat over here, and we'll do some shout outs. I know we've got Jersey, we have Colorado, South Dakota, California, Canada, Illinois, Jersey, baby, South Dakota. Awesome. And then the other thing, we are going to post about this. Missouri, Jeff, I didn't see you. Jeff in the house. Arizona. So we're going to post about this. So if you want me to add your Instagram handle to it, just drop that in the chat and I'll copy that over there. Hey, Ryan. Liz, so glad you could join us. So I don't know if anyone has any exciting plans today. If anyone has better weather than us, it's a little rainy and dreary over here. Is anyone going on any cool hikes or anything? If so, let us know.
Britt, do you want to talk about possible donations for next week?
Okay, so we did this last week. It was amazing, and we did this week, and it was also amazing. And we want to continue to do it, but we do have a few causes that we want to donate to. So what we're going to do, and we'll arrange it, and I'll send out an email, is we'll make it donation optional because we are aware that not everyone can afford to donate, and we totally get that, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is donation optional next week and the next week after that, every Sunday, 10:30 Eastern. But Tina herself, her roommate, works in the hospital, and the reason she was with us last week, but she isn't this week because it is really, really crazy out there. And I mean, they're struggling. So we want to do what we can to help. So this is how we think we can help. So just be on the lookout for that. Again, if you don't have the means to donate, we get that, and you're still welcome to attend.
Absolutely. And we are going to try and share out to all the states that you guys are from as well, which is why we wanted to know where you're coming from. So hopefully each week we can at least maybe buy some nurses a meal or just give a little bit where we can, when we can. And again, totally optional. You don't have to do it. This class is still free to you. But just, help them where we can while we can.
Alrighty, so just be on the lookout for that. If you want to share this with people, absolutely do. We are excited to have everyone on here. So thank you again for joining us. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and then have an amazing week.
Bye. All right, bye guys.